In this lecture, we are going to practically implement AI-driven TDD with Copilot. You'll remember that we had a lecture titled TDD in the Age of AI under the Pitfalls and Best Practices section, where we covered the principles of AI-driven TDD. Now for applying it practically in GitHub Copilot. Now in the previous lecture, we did the same in Cursor, and the lecture before that, we also did this with Claude Code. We are going to start by creating the specification. This will be in the form of a spec.md file that we'll add in the root of the project. We'll then let the AI write the failing tests from the spec, and then the AI will implement the function from these tests that are based on the spec. And then finally, we need to remember that we own two things. We create the spec and we review the failing tests, and then we review the implementation from those tests, and we also review if those tests are passing. Now let's look at the TDD diagram again so that it makes more sense. We have 3 steps in this process. The first step is called the red step, and this is when the AI writes the failing tests from the spec. This is the spec.md file that we are going to create. After that, we'll ask the AI to look at the tests and then create the function from the tests that are based on the spec. And then the last step is the refactor step, the blue step. This is where we can clean up the code, and then we can do it with confidence because the tests will protect the behavior. If we break it, the tests will fail, and then we can fix the code again so that the test passes. And essentially, the tests are the rules that are based on the spec, and the code needs to conform to that. And now, to start, we are going to create a virtual environment for our Python project. Importantly, if you skipped ahead, you can find the Copilot and IDE setup links and instructions in the Generating Tests with Copilot lecture under the Agentic Test Generation with AI Coding Agents section. And specifically, this code you'll find under the demo code section 5, lecture 22 and start. And again, you can download it from the resources section of this lecture. So let's go ahead and open up our IDEs. Now here under section 5, you'll find lecture 22 and then start, and you'll see it is empty. So let's go ahead and open this folder only, and then we can limit the context for Copilot. Demo code, section 5, lecture 22, and start. And then let's go ahead and open up our terminals. So let's start by getting our Python version, and I'll show you why we need this now. So it's going to be Python 3 for Mac OS and Linux, and then version, and then for Windows, it's just going to be Python version. And then as you can see, I'm on Python 3.10.12. The reason we looked at the Python version is for Linux users only. So if you've never created a venv virtual environment on your machine, you'll have to install Python 3-venv, and the X's need to be replaced with your version. So in my case, it's to install Python 3.10-venv. And if you, for example, on 3.11, it'll be 3.11-venv. If you've done that, we can create our virtual environment. So again, always Python 3 on Mac OS and Linux, and only Python on Windows. So let's go ahead and copy this command. Again, you'll find copies of the slide decks in the resources section of this lecture. So you can copy commands and prompts. And once we execute that, you will see that it creates a .vn folder, and then in the bin there's an activate shell script, and that's actually what we're going to do next to activate our project specific virtual environment. And we will do it with this command, source.venv, and then the activate shell script in the bin directory. For Windows, it's .venv scripts and then activate. And then once you've activated it and you have this .venv before your username in your terminal session, you know that your isolated virtual environment for your project has now been activated. And then we want to install PyTest inside of this isolated virtual environment and not globally. And we can go ahead and do that with pip install PyTest. And then our first step in our AI-driven TDD is the red step. This is where we'll start from the spec. So we own the spec and we are going to create the spec. Now, if you've watched the last 2 lectures, you know exactly what's coming. So here's the spec.md file. It is for overdue book late fees. And then we're saying that it should have a function that returns the fine for an overdue library book. So again, with TDD, you start with the failing tests and then only the function. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And then this function should give a grace period of 1 to 3 overdue days where there will be no fine. And then each day after the grace period adds a 50 cents fee. And then there's a total fee that is capped at $10. So even if you have 1,000 days overdue, then you will only be charged $10. And then a negative days overdue raises a value error. Let's go ahead and copy the spec.md file. And then in the root of our project directory, let's create a new file and call it spec.md. Let's add the contents there. Now that we have our spec.md file, we can go ahead and create the failing tests for the late fee function that doesn't yet exist. So at this stage, no code exists. The spec is the AI's only input. So here we've got the prompt, read the spec file, spec.md file, write the failing PyTest for the late fee function that'll be created in the source directory and created inside of the test directory and call it test latefees.py. Test only, no implementation, cover every rule, including the boundaries. Going to copy that. And then let's open up our chat under view and then chat. And there you've got the shortcut Control+Alt+I. And then what we are going to do is you can attach it there, or you can again use hash. So we're saying read the spec.md file, write failing PyTests for late fee, etc. And let's send that off. And now Copilot should create a tests directory and add our testlatefees.py file in there. And there you can see that it is creating the tests. And here it wants to run PyTest. Let's allow it. And then done. I added the test at testlatefees.py that cover every rule and boundary in the spec. PyTest run shows import error expected since implementation isn't present. So that's exactly what we want. Let's click on keep. And then let's go ahead and look at our tests. So if we go to the top, test negative days, raise value error. So for -1, it'll raise the value error. Test 0 days, no fee. So for day 0, $0 fine. And then our parameterized test grace period days, no fee for day 1, 2, and 3. That's correct. Test first charge day applies $0.50, and that is day 4, which is correct. Test accumulates $0.50 per day. So for 5 days, it'll be $1. And then for 10 days, it'll be 10 minus 3 times 50 cents. And that's going to be $3.50 if my math is correct there. And then test fee caps at $10. So for 23 days, $10, 24, 10, 22, only 9.5. So these are the tests that Copilot created. And as mentioned, there's no late fee function yet. So now we are done with step red. Let's go to step green. This is where we're going to ask Copilot to implement the function from the tests, because the tests have now become the spec. So before we do that, let's actually create a Copilot instruction and add a rule in there where we say the tests are the specification, like I said, and never edit a test to make it pass. So let's go ahead and copy that. And then let's create a new directory and call it .github. And then It's going to be called Copilot instructions.md. And then let's add our project rules in there. Now let's copy our prompt. So the prompt to Copilot chat will be the tests is the executable spec for the late fee function. Create the latefees.py file in source so the whole file passes. Run PyTest and iterate until green. Do not modify the tests. So if there's a failure, only the function can be changed with Copilot's iterations. Let's copy the prompt and I'm going to paste it there. Again, let's pick the file and it's going to be the test latefees.py file. Okay, let's send that off. And it has done so. Let's allow it to run the test. And there is an error. So it needs to fix it. We can actually take a look and see what it's doing. Run PyTest again. Again, there's an issue. And remember, we said iterate until it passes. Run PyTest again. And there we go. All done. Tests pass. So in the previous two videos, Claude Code and Cursor got it right the first time. But it's nice to see this in action where the AI sometimes gets it wrong, but then it has to change the function and not the test to make it pass. So here is our function. It is called late fee that takes in the days overdue as an integer and returns the fine as a float. So here it says returns the late fee for book overdue by days overdue days, and then raises the value error for a negative input. If the value of days is negative, it'll throw the value error. And then here, grace period days 1, 2, 3, and 0, no fee. So chargeable days will be days minus 3. And then it will take the max, which will either be, for example, if this is 4, it'll be 1, and then max will be 1. And then the fee will be 1 times 50 cents. And then it'll always take the minimum between the fee that is calculated there and $10. For example, if the chargeable days was 1,000, and it would then take 10 as the dollars there, because that will be less than the answer of 1,000 times 50 cents, which would be $500 if I'm not mistaken. So Copilot have now successfully created this function, and from what I can see, it does comply, and it said that the test did pass, but let's try it ourselves. So open up your terminal, and then I'm going to clear my terminal and run PyTest and point it to the tests directory. And there we go. All 8 of our tests have passed. Now to the last step, the blue step, and this is where we can refactor with peace of mind because our tests are basically protecting the behavior. And refactoring is anything from renaming, extracting constants, restructuring our code, and then every time we're going to run PyTest after each of these refactorings, green is going to stay green, or if the suite fails, it'll tell us immediately that we've broken the function. And then we won't change the tests because that is the spec, but we will change the code. And that safety net is exactly what putting the test before the code buys you. And this is TDD in a nutshell. So let's go ahead and practically apply some refactorings and to try out the blue step. The first thing that we can do, for example, is rename something. So let's change chargeable days to chargeable days calculated. And then obviously this is a trivial change, so our test should still pass. And then we can perhaps create another function and say calculate chargeable days. And this will basically return the max of the days overdue minus 3. Take this out because we already have this up there. And here we are simply going to invoke that function. and pass in the days. Let's see if we broke something and our tests still pass. But if we were to change the rules, for example, if we said that the fee is 65 cents per day, then we should obviously get failures. And as you can see, 3 of our tests have failed. We'll immediately know that this is the reason. So if we change it back to 50, then all of our tests pass again. So now you've seen AI-driven TDD in practice with Copilot. And the question is, why is AI-driven TDD safe? Because the test came from the spec, no code existed, so Copilot couldn't copy any bugs from existing code. And then the code came from the tests. And if it violates the spec, then it will fail the suite. Then it means the code is wrong. But the test can't be wrong because it became the spec. And then we followed spec first, then test, then code. So bug encoding is structurally impossible. Now you've seen AI-driven TDD in practice in 3 tools with 1 workflow, in Claude Code, Cursor, and Copilot. The spec led and the test preceded the code. So with AI-driven TDD, we supply the spec and do the reviews. The AI supplies the tests and the code.